Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different twists and turns as well as surprises in this film by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about this film that a lot of people are really excited about is, of course, all the different connections to the originals, the prequels, and exactly how the cameos will be utilized by, of course, writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions and one of the set leaks, this is where things begin to get very exciting for this movie. Now, specifically, it's described that Daisy Ridley shot a sequence during the month of November in which she was placed inside of a large set that was described to be a crystal cave. It's described that an unnamed actor was in the Jedi robes of Obi-Wan Kenobi and portraying the character in the form of a Force ghost. It said that the unnamed actor was wearing CG markers on his face, where it said that the plan is to digitally recreate the appearance of Sir Alec Guinness for the scene. The environment around Rey and the Kenobi figure is said to be the entrance of the Lost City in the film. Additionally, a sequence was shot in which Rey was standing in front of the actor portraying the Kenobi figure, in which it said that this is when Kenobi gives a brief piece of dialogue explaining to Rey of where she is about to go. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about all of this. Now, we do know that the Lost City is going to be a big piece of this movie, especially within the second act of the film. In fact, it's a part of the personal mission for the character of Rey, in which she goes on her own mission in order to discover many different pieces of Jedi and Sith lore. However, we do know that the entrance to the Lost City is said to be a crystal cave, and what's really exciting is that this is the sequence in which Obi-Wan Kenobi's Force ghost will be attached to. So, what's really intriguing to me the most, though, is that we do know that J.J. Abrams and Chris have a lot of big plans in order to really wrap up the entire Skywalker saga and to really throw in a lot of nostalgia and to do amazing things with this movie. And one of the big things, of course, is to recreate the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi, where it's going to appear that he is the Obi-Wan Kenobi that fans know and love from the original trilogy portrayed by Sir Alec Guinness. Now, mind you, a lot of fans also love the Ewan McGregor version, which in other sequences they do have plans in place in which they are going to mix the characters of Ewan and Alec together into one being, both old and young, of course. However, in this particular sequence, it's the Sir Alec Guinness version of Obi-Wan Kenobi, pretty much explaining to Rey about where she's about to go, which is, of course, the Lost City, specifically the Land of Warriors. Now, in case you guys have no idea what the Land of Warriors is, the Land of Warriors is going to be a location in this film in which Rey actually goes to and witnesses all these ancient structures and statues of course, the ancient Jedi that took place many years ago. So what's really interesting to me, though, about J.J. Abrams is that he really seems like he's going to be answering a lot of the burning questions in Episode 9, in which that is the big plan indeed, is that he's going to be answering a lot of those questions that originated from The Force Awakens that were disregarded in The Last Jedi, that will now be acknowledged in Episode 9. A lot of people have always been wondering, right? Why did Obi-Wan Kenobi reach out to Rey in The Force Awakens during her Force vision, saying, Rey, these are your first steps? A lot of people were trying to figure out exactly what was going on with all of this. And with that being said, guys, I will say that when we look at Episode 9, the fact that JJ and Chris, they're really trying to insert a lot of nostalgia into this film, it really does have to have a lot of meaning and purpose to it all, in order to really hit fans emotionally speaking, of course, right? When we think of these big moments from the original trilogy, and even some of the great moments in the prequels, you know, a lot of those moments have great meaning and purpose behind them all. And as long as they're not just throwing in nostalgia for the heck of it, and actually giving it a purpose, I think that that's when the scenes will work perfectly, and they will actually be looked back as a classic moment in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. So the fact that this movie has a lot going for it and a lot of different connections to the originals, the prequels, especially for the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi, getting this unnamed actor, we're not quite sure who he is, but he's got CGI markers on, in which they will be recreating the Sir Alec Guinness version of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, do I think that this is a good idea? Now, we've seen great examples of this in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, where they recreated, Grand Moff Tarkin, they recreated Leia at the very end of Rogue One. The technology is there. Can it be better? Absolutely. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do the voice of Sir Alec Guinness. That's going to be a big question open on the table for discussion. But I think that what they are going to do, obviously, is that they're going to have to get a voiceover artist or something like that, a voiceover actor that can really do Sir Alec Guinness very, very well. And that's probably the only way that they could do it. If they could really get, James Arnold Taylor to do Sir Alec Guinness and put him on board for episode 9, I think that'll work perfectly. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this whole entire sequence below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.